How you doing, guys? Welcome back to another Patreon request video. This is the last video from one of my patrons, Lorenzo Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. But I am waiting for the next video, the next crop of requests. This is the next one that he wanted me to do is 20 of my favorite, uh, 20 of my favorite DC animated films. So I decided to do this, and I broke it up into, well, I was like, should I stay with just the original animated movies, or should I also include the New 52 movies and the shorts, the DC showcase films, short films, and the Tomorrowverse. And I realized, well, there ain't that many of the Tomorrowverse movies that I really enjoyed, really like love. Like, these are movies that that I can watch over and over again. So I really had to contemplate on that. So I did. So, like I said, he wanted me to do 20. So I had to really think about, like, okay, how much do I want to do? 20, or do I want to add more? I may add more. So just realize that, okay? Just be understanding that I could add more. So number one on the list is Mask of the Phantasm, Batman. This is pretty much the only DC animated Batman film, not including Batman, Lego Batman, or the Super Pets or anything like that. But this was the only true animated Batman film that came out in theaters. It was literally still based on the animated series, and it focused on Batman. We got to see him it really felt like a year one of Batman. And of course, Andrea, his love, who became the Phantasm, and her relationship with the Joker and everything like that. It was great. One of my favorite scenes is probably the end credit scene. I love that, where we see Bruce, and the signal goes off. He looks up, shoots a grapple, and swings off. But yeah, it was great. It was great. Number 2 on the list goes to Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. This, of course, based off of the Superman Batman comic run, Public Enemies, where there was a bounty on Batman and Superman by President Luthor. This was great. This is probably one of my favorites. This was based in the same art style of Ed McGuinness. It was great. This was probably the first true animated adaptation of Power Girl. And I forget who she was voiced by, the actress who was in Smallville, who got into a lot of trouble as of late. Yeah, her. Probably my favorite two voice actors of Batman and Superman, respectively, Kevin Conroy and Tim Daly. My favorite Superman in that. Probably my favorite scene in that is where they're fighting all the bad guys from, Grodd and Mongol and all, in that, Grundy looked like the Hulk, like, just great. I love that scene. That's the funniest one, where, we saw Grodd, he was controlling Grundy and Mongol. I was like, damn, that's how powerful he is. And I love, how Superman was like, what do you want with money? What do you want with money, Mongol? All you care about is ruining the world, the galaxy, the universe. And you want to be Luthor's boy now? And I'm sick of Lex Luthor. And, uh, Solomon Grundy is talking very regal, and he's like, yeah, he's like, all you are is a rat with wings. And he drops Batman, and he's like, and what did it do with a rat? Then drowning. He drowning Clark, Bruce, and You know, he says, "See, that wasn't so difficult. I have to ask the Joker why it took him why he couldn't do this." And he's like, "Yeah, let's see what you look like underneath it." And somehow, for some, as Batman is, he pulls the cowl and there's gas that comes out his cowl, and then and all of a sudden, then that's where Grundy starts talking like Grundy. He's like, "Oh, Grundy not feel so good." And Grundy gonna feel a lot worse. And he was funny. It was good. I love that. That's my favorite scene in the movie. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3 on the list, of course, we're gonna go with the other Batman Superman movie, Batman Superman um, Apocalypse. This was based off another story in the old Batman Superman comics. The girl from Krypton. This had Darkseid in it, where because he had kidnapped Kara and made her one of his female furies, and she was mind control. I forget, she got brainwashed. Instead of Michael Ironside voicing the Darkseid, you had Andre Braugher voicing me. I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a real good job. Yet you still had Kevin Conroy back as Batman. You still had Tim Daly back as Superman. You had Susan Eisenberg, who voiced Wonder Woman in the Justice League animated series, is back. And of course, you had Summer Glau as Kara, and I thought she did a good job. And I wonder how Summer Glau is doing. It's been a while since I've seen her in anything, but yeah, it was good. It was fun. In that, it was really fun. Oh, and one of my favorite scenes is Big Barda and Wonder Woman fighting the female Furies. Oh, that was great. That was great animation. That was great. In that film, the animation was based more off of the late great Michael Turner. Respect. So yeah, it was based more off of that. So I really enjoyed that very much. So that's number 3. Number 4 on the list goes to the Wonder Woman, the 2009 Wonder Woman film where Kerry Russell voiced her, which was based off of the George Perez reboots series, specifically the Gods and Mortals arc. That was around the 80s, the 1980s, around that time. I thought this was good. This was real good. It was also written by my friend Gail. Gail Simone wrote this. I liked it. I thought it was fun. You had, like I said, you had Kerry Russell being Wonder Woman. You had Nathan Fillion. He was Steve Trevor in that. Alfred Molina was Ares. Rosario Dawson was Artemis. Who else? There was some big names in this. Oliver Platt, he was in this. He voiced Hades, I believe. Yeah, he voiced Hades, and Virginia Madsen voiced Hippolyta. Like I said, some voice talent was in this. I enjoyed this very much. It was good. And I even love at the end of it where we see her fighting Cheetah at the end, and she's running to there, and you see a little girl, "Go get her, Wonder Woman." It was so cool. I loved it. But you could smell Gail was all over it. Even if you didn't see the end credit and said written by Gail Simone, if you know Gail, you writing, you knew she wrote this. But it was good. It was good. So that's number 4. Number 5 on the list, it goes to Batman Under the Red Hood. Another one of my favorite Batman films. This was the first time we got to hear Bruce Greenwood voice Batman. I thought he did a good job. Neil Patrick Harris was good as Dick Grayson. Jensen Ackles voiced Jason Todd. But I think Jensen does a better job voicing Batman now. That's one thing I will say that I like about the Tomorrowverse is Jensen Ackles voicing Batman. He does a great job. But in that in this movie he was Jason Todd, and Of course, the probably the as good as the film was, as good as the film was, um, the best thing about it, one of my favorite scenes is the whole conversation with Jason and Bruce about why is Joker still alive? Why is he still alive? Why is he still alive? And the whole concept of Batman not killing. I love that. I love where he was just like, you don't think I want to kill him? God, I would, I've dreamed about killing him, but I know if I do that, if I do it, I'll do it again. And I love that. I love that whole concept of why Batman doesn't kill. I love that. That's what one thing that I loved about it. And I love even Jason had some. He's like, look, he's like he even told Bruce, he's like, look, Bruce, I forgive you. What I can't forgive you is that this piece of garbage is still alive. John DiMaggio as Joker, I had to get used to because one, I just felt like, I think I've been too spoiled with Mark Hamill as Joker. It was hard to see someone else voice Joker. But yeah, he was okay. But yeah, Under the Red Hood is definitely one of my favorites indeed. So that's 5. Number 6 on the list is number 6 is Justice League Doom. This is based off the Tower of Babel. I thought it was great. It didn't stay true to all the way to the source, but it stayed enough to Morrison's run. Even at the end, because at the end the Justice League was split in between. We got to hear each member of the Justice League vote, like, is Batman still in the league or is he out? And it was split because I believe, if I remember correctly, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Martian Manhunter said he should stay. I believe it was Aquaman, Plastic Man, and someone else said no, he should go, and somebody else. But I thought it was good. It was fun. It was just seeing the ways how Batman was gonna deal with each member was crazy. It just lets you show, like, Jesus Christ, Bruce, like, what the hell? And this, to me, Tower of Babel, and I was talking to a fellow geek on Instagram about this, and Tower of Babel definitely is where we get the whole concept now with geeks now, that whenever we do a fight between Batman and somebody, they always say, well, Batman will win. And then we're like, why? And he's like, well, with prep time, he can beat anybody. Tower of Babel is where that came from. I've always believed in that. But yeah, Justice League Doom is definitely that list. Is on that list. Next on the list, that was number 6, right? Yeah, number 6. Number 7 is Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. I did like this. This was good too. We got to see Justice League fight the crime syndicate, which was fun. James Wood in that playing Owlman. Oh my God, he was so good. His voice coming out of Owlman, it creeped me out a little bit. I was like, oh God, like, ooh, Jesus. The way he talked, it was like, yo, something is off about this guy. And and even William Bowen, who played Batman, I was like, okay, that's not bad. It's not bad. I wouldn't mind seeing him voice some more, but it was fine. Next on the list, of course, is Justice League New Frontier. New Frontier was more based around kind of like if the heroes were still based in the 50s, right after the Korean War. You had some great voice talent in that too. You had David Boreanaz, who's Green Lantern. Neil Patrick Harris was the Flash, and in that time they made like the Flash. A lot of people couldn't trust the Flash because he wore red. They thought he was a communist. They thought he was a commie. It was really sick to see that. Um, you also had uh, Lucy Lawless as Wonder Woman, somebody actress we all wanted to see play Wonder Woman, and she was great. Um, Kyle McLangland was Superman, and of course, if I remember, Jeremy Sisko was Batman, and I'll never forget watching the from I think it was San Diego Comic Con 2007 when they showed the voice casting. When he came out as Batman, that crowd ate him alive. I felt so bad for Mr. Sisko. I was like, God damn, like, yes, it's not Kevin Conroy, but Jesus, give him a chance. Like, they showed David Boreanaz and Lucy Lawless, and they were just like, whoa, like, whoa, really? It was crazy. But I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was a good film. It was fun to a degree. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to keep count. If I don't, it's fine. I'm like I said. Um, Another one of my favorites is Superman versus the Elite. That's another one of my favorites. Superman versus the Elite is was a little scary at times too, especially when what Manchester Black did to him. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then you just saw him just go ape on them. It was just scary. Just legit. Now, that's the one thing I will remember about that film is just how scary Superman could be at times. And that was fun. Um, Another one would be uh, another one that I love is Batman Gotham Knights, which was more of an anthology series based in the Nolan verse. And we got to see Batman facing characters that we never saw in the Nolan verse of Batman. Like he fought Croc in one short, another one he fought Deadshot. I think the one when he fought Deadshot on the train was great, but it was fun. It was a good film. It was a good anthology film. Um, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really very much enjoyed that. Very much indeed. Uh, Very much enjoyed that indeed. So uh, next, next on the list, of course, um, I'm gonna go with. We're gonna go with Batman. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker was a good film. I enjoyed it. I know it gets slept on a lot, but I thought it was good. It made sense to leave Joker out there. I mean, because we never saw Joker in the Batman Beyond universe. We saw some of the old villains. They got old or they died, but Joker was never said to be living or so. So to see um, to see what happened to him was actually sick, and to see what he did was even sicker. You know, when he came back, he looked young, and he knew Bruce was Batman. He knew how to get into the Batcave. It was almost in a sense, I liked how they built up to that. It was almost in a sense that he knew, or he knew someone that knew all of his tricks and trades. And then we saw what Joker did. He basically brainwashed Tim Drake. We finally got to see what happened to Tim, and that was just messed up. Jesus. It's something that you would never think Joker would do, but he did. It was crazy. And then, of course, when Joker faced Tim Drake, I love how Tim turned the ties on him. Kind of was just laughing at him in a sense, because in terms of, what he could do, it was just funny. It was like, now wait a minute, like, So you fell into a vat of acid, your skin got bleached, and then you came out, and then I'm a supervillain now, right? It was funny to me. I found that funny. I was cracking up when that scene came, and he's like, so now, and then of course that was just getting Joker pissed, and he's like, yeah, you think you could be, and he's like, you're not Batman, and he's just throwing. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I did enjoy that. Um, the DC short films, I will add them into the showcases. Out of all of them, I have four on the list. The first one, of course, is the first one, of course, is Superman, Captain Marvel, The Return of Black Adam. That had George Newberg as Superman, Jerry O'Connell voiced Captain Marvel, um, Arnold Vosloo was Black Adam. Great stuff. It was great. Even uh, Kevin Michael Richardson as Tawny was great. I enjoyed that. One of my favorite scenes in that movie was where Black Adam is justifying why he does what he does. He's fighting Superman and Captain Marvel, and and then there's a car coming, and he just puts his foot down on the car. The car flips up in the air, and he catches the woman. He just got her by the throat like this, and he's just squeezing. He's not really squeezing, but you can see just his grip is just around her neck, and his lines just rumbled, and I was like, man, I wish we could see that in live action, where he's just like, is this who I was supposed to protect? Is why? Because they are weak? Because they are inferior? You know, he's like, this is what the wizard could not understand. If you crush an ant between your feet, do you feel remorse? No. Why? No. Why? Because you are a higher God, because you are a higher power. You are a higher being. This is what the wizard could not understand. If I have the powers of the gods, then am I God myself? Is stuff like it was great. I love that. You know, I love that. It was good. That was really good. The next one, of course, was the Green Arrow short. I love that, where he was saving that princess that was was going to be assassinated by Merlin. Kevin McDowell, not Kevin, Neil McDowell. He voiced McDowell voiced Green Arrow. You had Malcolm McDowell voice Merlin. Steve Bloom, I think, was Count Vertigo in that, and like veteran voice actor Gray Delis Delis was Black Canary. I thought that was great. The next one, of course, I liked is the Jonah Hex, and I want more Jonah Hex. I really wish they did more Jonah Hex animated stuff, and bring back Thomas Jane to voice Jonah Hex. I thought he was great as Thomas Jane. You know, Linda Hamilton was in there. Michael Rooker. Even I believe Michelle Trachtenberg. She also voiced a character in there. But I enjoyed that. That was another one I enjoyed, especially what he did to Linda Hamilton's character. I was like, she had it coming. And of course, the Spectre. I did enjoy the Spectre. The Spectre was fun. The Spectre was absolutely fun. And it featured Jim Corrigan. It was that one. And you're just seeing him being him, but then he became the Spectre. It was great. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun indeed. But other than that, let's move on to the others. Um, if you're wondering, are there going to be any? I didn't mind the Green Lantern stuff, but they're not ones that I can go back and watch. I'm counting the animated films that I love that I watch countless times, over and over and over. Not the ones that I just watch once and I don't watch ever again. Um, so we'll kind of move to like the new 52 stuff, the DC animated movies. Um, the Justice League, Flashpoint, I enjoyed. That I did like that. I can watch that I can watch that again and again. I think I've watched it now about over 50 times. I do enjoy that. And, it was good to see, you know, Flashpoint get adapted to a degree. It was fun. It was really fun. You know, I felt they could have had a better, they could have had maybe a better voice actor for Flash. No, I didn't mind the actor who voiced him. I think his name was Justin Chambers. But I was just like, I feel like, to me, I felt like they should have got Neil Patrick Harris back to voice Barry in that. But I did enjoy that. I enjoyed it very much. In that movie, Michael B. Jordan voiced he voiced Cyborg in that was, I bet y'all didn't know that. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan voiced Cyborg. Um, and of course, that's where we got to see, Thomas Wayne Batman. Uh, but there was other, Kevin Conroy voiced Batman. Um, Nathan Fillion was Hal Jordan. You had you had I think D Bradley was Etrigan in that. Um, uh, Diana Delaney was Lois. So you did have some people in there that came back to voice characters that they did, and I love the ending where we saw Flash give Bruce the letter, and you saw him read it, and then he just sort of crying. He's like, "You're a heck of a." That was good. I enjoyed that. So yes, and then of course that was the end, and then they went New 52 and stuff. Um, a lot of the stuff I didn't care for. My so you know Justice League War. I wasn't that. There were scenes in Justice League War that I liked, but it wasn't my favorite out of the Justice League of those. My favorite was Throne of Atlantis. That was my favorite with Aquaman and Ocean Master. That was my favorite. I like that one more than War. There are scenes in War that I like that I can watch. Especially when Flash is gushing over Batman. That was funny. But outside of that it's 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 um it's Atlantis, Throne of Atlantis that I like more, and I didn't like that. I did like that a lot. Um, Another one that I liked out of the New 52 was Batman Assault on Arkham, which was based in the Arkham verse. I did enjoy that. So that was fun. Next would be um, would be uh, Justice League Dark. I did like seeing I like seeing Etrigan and Swamp Thing and Constantine and Zatanna and Deadman. I really wish Batman wasn't in it. Didn't need him really, uh, but whatever. And of course, I did enjoy Judas Contract. I did enjoy that. I liked that a lot. That was good. That's another one. Um, and I loved. I also liked. Uh, I also enjoyed uh, the Death of Superman. I liked I liked the Death of Superman from the new 52 version than Justice League Superman Doomsday. I like this one much better. So I did like that. I did like that. Jerry O'Connell does a good job voicing Superman. I like him as Superman, and of course, Reign of the Supermen. I really like. That's where we finally got to see all the Supermen, the Eradicator, Steel, Superboy. I like that. That's another one. Justice League versus the Fatal Five which was based more in the DC animated universe after Justice League, so I enjoyed that. Um, Superman Red Sun is another one I love. Uh, and I enjoyed, and that's kind of about it. That I really cared about in what they did with the, you know, New 52 stuff, because a lot of it focused around Batman, and I was like, yeah, I can't. You know, it's just Batman. Oh, Batman, 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 Batman. You know, I didn't care too much for that. Um, and to be honest with you, I didn't really care for, Apocalypse. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. I didn't care for that. They tried to go, basically, Infinity War, and I'm just like, I can't with that. And then of course, Flash again restarts the world. So, and then that's where we get Tomorrowverse, and I didn't care too much for Superman, Man of Tomorrow. It could have been better. Um, my favorite out of I did love Justice Society World War II. It was good. The only thing I wish was it focused on the Justice Society, not Flash. It didn't need Barry Allen Flash. Uh, the Long Halloweens I did enjoy, and that's where Jensen Ackles took over, and he was great as Batman. His voice is great. So I do like that. Um, and pretty much that is it in a sense. I don't think I got 20. I don't think I got 20. If I did, I'm out. So we're just gonna edit this and say some of my favorite DC animated films. Uh, I still I watched all of the Tomorrowverse films, and I'm not that impressed by any of them. I'm not. They feel lazy. They feel um, some of them feel lazy. Some of them feel like they're putting characters in there. For example, Green Lantern, Beware My Power. They literally just took Kyle's story and kicked him out of his own story and put it to John Stewart. I hated that. I hated that. Um, Legion of Superheroes shouldn't even be called Legion of Superheroes. Should have been called Supergirl and a Legion of Super, because it was more of a Supergirl story than a Legion of Superheroes. It was just ridiculous. Um, so yeah, just a lot of stuff. A lot of them just still bothers me. Um, like I said, it is my list, and if you enjoyed my list, I hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, a lot of I didn't care for the Batman Dark Knight Returns, because I don't care for that story in general. I don't. Overhyped. I played out. Um, I was okay with Batman Year One. I'll just go down the list. I liked All Star Superman, but it's not a movie that I'm. The ones I mentioned are movies I can watch constantly. I can watch over and over and over again. Green Lantern First Flight was okay, but even if it comes on or I see it, I don't really turn to it. I don't watch it as much. Um, and like I said, Superman Doomsday, I have that in my collection, and I've only watched it once, and that was no twice, and that's it. I haven't watched it in years. Um, Emerald Knights is the same thing. It felt like the same. Um, uh, Superman Unbound. I think I've only seen that once, which uh, which was based off of, and I thought it was okay. It was okay. Um, I don't care for, like I said, Justice League War. I'm not too big on. I don't care for Son of Batman. I could care less. Uh, Batman versus Robin. I didn't care about that. Um, Justice League Gods and Monsters. For a standalone movie, I thought that was interesting. Um, Batman Bad Blood. I could care less. You know, they just focused on Batman in the New 52 stuff, and I didn't care. The Killing Joke. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. That was not the Killing Joke. Fuck that movie. Um, that was just nasty. I'm sorry. Um, Batman and Harley. I kind of passed up. I never even watched that. Batman Gotham by Gaslight. I maybe watched it once, and that was it. Uh, Suicide Squad. Hell to Pay. I liked it, but it's not something I'll go back and watch. Um, but I did like the Death of Superman. Constantine, City of Demons. I watched once, and I thought it was cool too. But again, it's not something I will go back to watch. Um, the Reign of Superman I liked. Justice League versus Fatal Five I liked. Batman Hush was pretty good. Wonder Woman Bloodlines I watched. Um, and you know it was all right. You know, Red Sun I loved, and there was another one, uh, and that's it. But and the Batman Soul of the Dragon I never watched, so I haven't watched that. But I loved Long Halloween because that was another Batman story I actually wanted to see adapted, and I thought they did a decent job. Jensen Ackles, his Batman, he's just great. So if I did make 20, my apologies. My apologies also to Lorenzo. Um, but if I did, thank you. Uh, so Lorenzo, if you enjoyed this, thank you very much. If you guys tell me some of your favorite DC animated films, leave it a link down below as well and wherever. And I will see you guys next time. As always, deuces.